What's up, guys? It's your boys Wokey, back at it with another video, and today, by popular demand on another one, is you guys are asking me to watch Secret in the Dark's newest video of the scandalous truth and manipulations of Nichol Kessinger, the Watts family murders, part 2 of, and then the description reads, Chris Watts is serving life in prison. We already know that, thank the Lord. But was his mistress more involved than anyone has ever admitted? Shocking contradictions and hidden evidence suggest that she has played a bigger role in this horrific case. How far does she go down the rabbit hole? So, we're going to watch this right now. Grab a chair, get comfortable. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel by hitting that white bar icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I posted that video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you all so very much for that love and support you guys show on my channel every single day. My channel will not be what it is without you. So keep on doing what you guys are doing so we hopefully get to that 100K goal. But until that time, show the same love over at Secret in the Dark. Go give him some love. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. And with that being said, let's get into the video.
In her final sit-down with CBI agent Kevin Kobeck, and the perplexing question of why her father was allowed to sit in on those sessions at all. And then I want you to consider this, hypothetically. If you didn't know the background, if you didn't already understand who Nichol was, her words might sound harmless. But when you place them against the hard evidence, the truth is undeniable.
Previously, in Part 1, we traced the shadows of Nichol Kessinger's past, her teenage arrests, her contradictions, and her chilling proximity to Chris Watts in the hours when Shanann, Bella, and Celeste lost their lives.
Which we've watched, and it's in my playlist, so go check it out.
We uncovered her deleted searches, her evasive statements, and the haunting question that still lingers. If Nichol had never
I never realized that Tammy met Nichol Kessinger.
entered Chris's world, would Shanann and her daughters still be alive today? And yet, for all that we revealed, so much remains unanswered. Tonight, we turn to the interviews, because it is here, in her own words, that the cracks in Nichol's story grow wider. The FBI sat across from her, asking direct questions, and while she appeared cooperative,
there were 3 detectives in this room. And not one of them asked, "Were you there that morning?"
what unfolded in those sessions was not clarity, but contradiction. So let's step inside the interrogation room. Let's listen carefully, line by line, as Nichol Kessinger's own words either reveal her innocence or expose the role she has never been forced to admit.
From the very beginning of this interview, it became clear to me that Nichol Kessinger's primary objective was not to assist law enforcement, but to protect herself, while simultaneously steering investigators away from the full objective truth. Whatever it took, whatever she had to say, her focus was self-preservation. But before we go further, I want to remind everyone of 2 critical disclaimers.
Victim blaming will not be tolerated here.
Amen. Stop it. Enough is enough. I'm sick of people saying Shanann was the reason. Shanann was the catalyst. Shanann drove Chris to doing this. No. Like, I don't know what high horse you were on and thinking that you were so perfect and that Shanann was so-called perfect. Everybody has their quirks. Everybody has their tweaks that they need. Chris, yeah, not perfect human, but he's a murderer. He deserves to be where he's at. So I'm tired of, there's been people that have been putting Team Chris. Thankfully, I have awesome moderators and getting rid of that crap. But stop victim blaming Shanann for being a catalyst in this murder. It's ridiculous.
Period. No victim and no family of a victim deserves to be maligned, disparaged, or disrespected.
I love this.
This is a core value of this channel, and it is not up for debate.
And then somebody's like, "Oh, Zawoki deletes comments." The hell yes, I do. It's my channel. If you're going to have victim blaming of Shanann, I'm going to delete it. I love how they're like, "Oh, he's being secretive out of his comments." No, I'm not. I'm actually going to be making a video here soon of all the hateful comments of myself, Shanann, and all that stuff. And I'm putting your names on there. So your names are going to be plastered. And I can do that because it's my channel.
Not now, not ever. The purpose of this series is to present you with the evidence as it exists, directly from discovery records and the interviews made public. I do not platform unfounded conspiracy theories. My opinions are my own, drawn only from the facts available. And as always, after I share my perspective, I encourage you to examine the evidence and reach your own conclusions. Every case we cover in
The hateful people and the negative ones, they think we're trying to lie about things. Like, we're not lying about anything. We're showing you what's from the discovery, the pictures, the body cam footage, all that stuff. We do have said a lot, or you do have said, that didn't make sense. All the YouTubers that I've watched all say alleged. They don't say it's fact unless it's actually fact. They say their opinions. It's their thought, their theory. They're not saying you better believe this. If you don't believe it, you're stupid. That's what the other side is doing. If we don't believe them on Shanann being the catalyst and that Chris is innocent and Nichol Kessinger deserves to be free, they shame us and say, oh, we're shiners or whatever have you bull crap that they keep coming up with. I think they're so bored that you just sit up through the whole night making stuff up.
involves real people, families who have been devastated by unimaginable loss. For that reason, no form of harassment, negative commentary, or targeting of any victim connected to this case.
Just like the day
Love
before
it.
with the FBI, Nichol wasted no time. Within the first 3 minutes of this interview, she launched into the first of a series of complete fabrications. It was a performance, carefully constructed, carefully delivered. On the surface, it sounded like cooperation, but beneath the words, it was deception. And as the minutes rolled on, those fabrications multiplied, layer upon layer of misleading statements, half-truths, and outright lies.
So let's just start with like a timeline of your getting to know Chris, how you guys met, where you met, all those things. And let's just run. And I'm not going to ask you specific questions unless I think it's necessary. I'll let you just tell me.
Why not? Why aren't you going to ask specific questions? Why not?
Your story. I think it's a little bit easier that way. So I just want to know how you met him, where you met him, how long you guys were dating, and those kind of things initially.
Okay.
I want you to pay very close attention to the moment Nichol claimed she first met Chris Watts.
I think I met him sometime in June, probably early June. It might have been May. It was just talking at work. It was pretty casual. And he didn't have a wedding ring on his finger. And every time I talked to him, he didn't tell me that he was in a relationship. He didn't even mention his kids right away either.
Nichol had just told investigators that she didn't know Chris was married, that she didn't know he had children. She painted herself as completely in the dark. But then, barely 1 minute later, she said this.
And then he told me that those two were in the process of a separation.
Did he mention the children's name or his significant other's name?
I didn't know his significant other's name for a while.
I want you to remember what Nichol Kessinger just said.
Get ready.
Because moments earlier, she told Agent Kobach that she didn't even know Shanann's name for a while. And we already know from both her and
the 2017 not typo that she Googled Shanann Watts.
Chris that they claim their relationship began in the first week of June 2018. But as usual, nothing about Nichol's words holds up. Almost a year before that interview, Nichol Kessinger conducted a Google search that shattered her entire story. On August 3rd, 2017, she searched for Chris Watts, a man she insists she didn't meet until nearly 10 months later. And it doesn't stop there. On September 1st, 2017, she searched for Shanann Watts. Then again on January 7th, 2018. These weren't...
Let me just do a mic drop. Boom. It's literally, it's right there. Right there. And literally a federal crime is lying to FBI or law enforcement, which can be 2 to 5 years in prison. I've done the research in Colorado. She could do 2 to 5 years for lying to investigators, lying to FBI agents. And for those people that say, oh, it's wokey, where's your credit? Where's your source? I give it Exhibit A. It is a federal felony under 18 U.S.C. 1001, which carries more severe penalties for lying to police and FBI. Let's go down, shall we? We're going down. Okay. A conviction for lying to FBI can result in several federal penalties, including up to 5 years in a federal prison, up to $250,000 of fine. The prison sentence can increase to 8 years if the false statement relates to terrorism, blank offense, or human trafficking. Well, she didn't do that part, but right here for Colorado law, just for her lying, she could do 5 years, which she has lied. Why is she not locked up?
Rumors or speculation. The dates of these searches were confirmed by law enforcement in Detective Baumhover's report and later verified by Weld County District Attorney Michael Rourke himself. That fact alone is deeply problematic. But during my final day of research, I uncovered something even more disturbing. A detail that convinced me, beyond doubt, that this case demands to be reopened. It came during Nicole's last in-person interview with Agent Kobe.
Oh, also, did I mention that when Rourke goes into his office, he said to his employees, nothing of this case goes anywhere unless it goes through me. Why would you say that, sir? It's very interesting that you say that.
Back. In the middle of sulking and complaining, she let something slip. A comment so revealing, so careless, that it absolutely blew me away.
Okay.
Listen closely.
It is what it is. I've only been working with them for like 4 months. I don't really know.
Did you catch that? Let me repeat her exact words. Quote, I've only been working for them for like 4 months. Nichol was talking about her employment at Anadarko, and she said those words on August 23rd, 2018, which means the earliest she could have started was late March or early April of that year. So then tell me, how could Nichol Kessinger have been Google searching Chris Watts and Shanann Watts in 2017, nearly 8 months before she ever set foot inside Anadarko?
Because there's rumors that people believe, which I'm kind of on the fence about. I don't think that they met at a gym, but that's where people think that she and he met, was a gym. And then she weaseled herself in to Anadarko because she wanted to know more about Chris. She studied them. She hunted them. She stalked them.
Stop for a moment and think about that. There is no reasonable explanation. None. That fact alone should have been enough for law enforcement to pause, rewind, and dig deeper into what Nichol was hiding. And yet, when Weld County District Attorney Michael Rourke was asked directly about this very issue, specifically whether investigators ever pursued how Nichol could have been searching for Chris and Shanann in 2017, this was his response. Quote,
We did not get to the point in our investigation of attempting to independently verify that or not because Chris Watts pled guilty. Unquote. And that is absolutely absurd, because law enforcement's own discovery report, issued and verified by Detective Michael Prill, clearly demonstrated that Nichol Kessinger searched for 2 people she claimed she didn't even know a full 8 months before she ever set foot inside Anadarko. And yet people...
How is that not the biggest red flag? She says that she didn't know that they're separate, or she didn't know that she was pregnant. That's a lie. She didn't know the girls' names. She knew them. She didn't know about Shanann. That's a lie. I mean, all this lying, CBI, FBI, at least between 5 to 10 years, this woman could have been serving for prison. I've seen people that mess with a corpse get 1 year. And yet she can't get any time for what she has done?
People still have the audacity to call this a witch hunt. But here's why I refuse to let that dismissal stand.
Amen.
Every time a person lies to law enforcement, it's not just a moral failing, it's a crime. Statutorily speaking, you are not allowed to mislead or lie to investigators.
That's why they have you on the bench with your hand up to be sworn in. I give the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. You lie, you're doing underneath God's house now. You're screwed. You're doing on the Bible.
Any reason. And it becomes even more serious when you are the primary witness in a homicide investigation, someone expected to testify in court under oath about the very statements you've already made. Now, one of the most common rebuttals I hear is this. Maybe Nichol was nervous. Maybe she was embarrassed. Maybe she simply misspoke. Here is my response. Her intent, or lack thereof, does not matter. Whether she lied out of fear, embarrassment, or so-called self-preservation, none of it changes the fact. Lying to law enforcement in a criminal investigation is against the law.
And it's a federal crime. Put her in jail. How hard is it? Lock her up. She shouldn't be free.
Period.
Liars often rely on consistent patterns of behavior to keep deceiving and hiding the truth. 1. Pointing to someone convenient. They quickly name another person as the cause, a coworker, a friend, even the victim. By deflecting attention, they make themselves appear.
Even when Shanann, or when Nichol says Shanann's name, she does this. What?
Like the innocent bystander. 2. Making you question yourself. They'll say things like, "You're imagining it. You always think the worst," or "You never trust me." The goal is to plant doubt in your own mind, so you question your judgment instead of their actions. 3. Playing the victim. Instead of answering accusations, they highlight how hurt, misunderstood, or attacked they feel. Suddenly, you're the one being cruel, and they're the one suffering. 4. Reversing the story. If confronted, they turn the entire situation upside down. "If you hadn't done this, I wouldn't have had to lie." They make it seem as if you are the cause of their dishonesty. 5. Dragging up your mistakes. Rather than addressing the lie, they bring up old wounds or irrelevant flaws in you. This shifts the conversation from their deceit to your shortcomings. 6. Creating a scapegoat. They invent someone else's involvement. A supposed friend who gave bad advice, a coworker who messed things up, or even vague excuses like, "People were pressuring me." 7. Guilt tripping. They'll say things like, "I lied because I didn't want to hurt you," or "I only hid it because you overreact." The trick is to make the lie seem like a selfless act.
Now listen carefully, because this is where Nichol begins to shift the blame. Instead of examining her own role, she redirects attention toward Shanann. She speaks about Shanann as if she were the source of conflict,
Yep.
trivializing her, dismissing her.
And yet we're the ones that are completely insane for continuously making these videos. I'm going to make these videos until Nichol is talked to, arrested, or yeah, that's about it.
Even suggesting that Shanann's business was a problem in Chris's marriage. It's subtle, but unmistakable.
Her
By framing
business.
Shanann's career as a burden and painting her as a distraction, Nichol carefully distances herself from the reality of the situation. It's the same deflection we heard from Chris in those first police interrogations, casting Shanann as controlling, as difficult, as the reason he was unhappy. But the truth is this: Shanann was not on trial. Shanann was the victim. And every time Nichol downplayed her or labeled her business as part of the problem, it became another attempt to excuse Chris while shielding herself.
I was thinking about the whole, what is the name of the stuff she sold for Lavelle?
Thrive.
She knew.
I'm sorry?
Thrive.
Thrive, that's right. I was like, it starts with a T and I'm trying to blank. So I started thinking about this whole Thrive thing because I remember that we spoke at the end of last week and you were asking what I thought of it, and I made it clear that I didn't understand it. And the reason I had a hard time understanding it was because I didn't understand how people who were living sedentary lifestyles and had poor diets were losing so much weight on this program, and Chris was never able to tell me what was in it. Like he not always, but when we first met,
Can you read the outside of a box or a wrapper? It tells you on the product what it does. Shanann tells you through the whole Facebook that she has. I don't know, all the videos that I've seen, she tells you what it does for you. This woman is full of poppycock.
It was like, you should try this stuff, you should try this stuff. And I never wanted to. I was uncomfortable with it because I didn't know what it was. And I even looked on their website and I still didn't completely understand it. And so I just I stayed away from that. And not only that, I mean, he told me, you know, the only things he pretty much told me is,
this is the woman that Googled expiration dates on condoms. And she doesn't know what's in Lavelle Thrive patches.
it gives you energy, and it's like a weight loss supplement, and I'm not trying to lose any weight. Like, I don't need that, and I didn't feel like I needed the energy either. So he never pushed it again, and I never, like, he always wore the Thrive patches, and I never questioned it. It was like what he did. But one thing I do remember him mentioning to me when he first tried to introduce me to Thrive was that you needed one patch a day. And when he would hang out with me, he always wore two. Always wore two.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Do you remember where he wore them?
Yeah. So he would usually.
Why does it matter? Oh, she remembers that, but she can't remember her 111-minute phone call or where she was the day of the murders.
Wear one on like.
But she has an alibi, which she still has not given.
His left bicep area, and then sometimes he would wear another one on the right side in the same spot, or he would wear it on his like lower back.
Okay.
But he always had two, and I remember thinking like, I thought you only needed one of these. Why are you using two? And I never questioned it, because for me, I mean, like, I never questioned him about it, because to me, I just felt like since I wasn't involved with that program and I didn't want to be involved, it wasn't really my position to question him.
Sure.
And now I know that there's also supplements that go with it. There's like a pill and like a morning shaker. There's like a lot of stuff that goes with it, but there's like a.
So she doesn't remember what it's called, Thrive, but she knows that it comes with a supplement. She knows that it comes with drinks. She knows all this, but she can't remember that other stuff.
Daily routine of like 3 or 4 items that you are supposed to take. Now, was he doubling up on those other items? I am not sure.
Do you know if he was following the complete routine?
As far as I know, he was following it. And he had told me that is why he lost a bunch of weight. He said that the reason he lost so much weight was all because of Thrive. And then he said that at some point a few months...
Well, I'm pretty sure it did help that you were running. It helped that he was eating chicken and corn or carrots.
Months ago, he had started getting stagnant with the weight loss. And so that is when he decided that he was going to start working out again. And that's when he decided he wanted to start eating healthy as well, because he was realizing that he'd like plateaued and he still wanted to continue with his fitness. But I think he was realizing like maybe a diet, like a healthy diet and exercise is what I need at this point. So that was the avenue that he was starting to go down, and he'd been going down by the time I met him. But he was still doing the Thrive on top of it.
Okay.
So the thing that caught my attention about this recently when I was thinking about it is the fact that I think maybe the reason he was doing the 2 a days, and this is just speculation, is because it had like plateaued. So maybe he was doubling up because he thought it had plateaued. So the reason that this comes to my attention is because of his weight loss. So he lost 13 pounds in about 5 weeks. In fact, I can give you the dates. He lost 13 pounds from July 4th to August 11th is how much weight he lost, because August 4th.
So she remembers this, but she doesn't remember the 100-minute phone call. I've never heard this chunk right here. This chunk that's being present or shown, I've never heard.
I mean, July 4th was the day that I went to his house and sat down with him and asked him, how much do you weigh? And he asked me, can you just like look at my macros and see how much protein people my size would usually eat and all that, and just asked me to like glance at it. So that's why I went over there.
So that's when you say his house, that's his house in Frederick that he shared with Shanann?
Yes, that's the one that I told you guys I went to on. What
other house do they have? He makes it sound that's the house in Frederick, Colorado. They don't have another house.
4th, and that was why I went there, was to sit down with him that morning of the 4th and just discuss his goals, you know. And again, I'm not a fitness trainer, so he already had an idea in mind. He was just asking me, like, can you just glance at this and tell me what you think, since you pay such close attention to these things. So anyways,
I'm going to ask you, I think I already asked you and we discussed this once, but July 4th was the first time you went to his house, and then I think you said like the following Monday or Sunday was the second and final time you'd been to his home?
I will have to, it was a Saturday, and I'll have to look it up. It was either hold on, let me pull out a calendar. I really just want to, that's July. So the 4th, and then that weekend, I think, and I will double check this, but I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact I was at his house on July 4th, and I think the second time I went to his house was Saturday the 14th.
Okay, and those are, if I remember right, you only had been there 2 times, right?
Yeah, like I didn't want to go back. After that second time that I was there, it was like, I don't want to be at this house. Like, if you want to hang out, come to my house. So the 14th was the last time I was there.
Okay.
But back to this, so the Thrive thing. So I was like kind of concerned that he was losing so much weight, but I also wasn't, because he was like kind of fine tuning his diet. But it was enough for me to look at it. Because I was like, well, I mean, it wasn't like a severe weight loss, but it was kind of fast. So I was like, okay, well, are you getting enough calories? What's going on? And I couldn't figure it out, because I was looking at what he was eating, and it was like healthy proteins and vegetables, and he was eating a decent amount of food. And I'm just like, how is this man losing so much weight? And then I started thinking about it.
What does this have to do with the murders? Absolutely nothing.
The other day, and I'm like, oh my God, it's because he was like doubling up on all the Thrive stuff, and he was starting to eat really healthy. So that, I think, is.
So did you see a change in him personally during that time from July 4th, or pardon me, July 4th to August 11th, when he lost that kind of weight?
What did you say? What was the question you asked?
Did you see a lot of change in him, like not physical change, but was his personality different, or was it just the weight loss?
No, it was just the weight loss. Like,
Okay.
I didn't think he was any different. But this is the one thing that I wanted to point out to you guys, was that he was always this way. I just want to state that right now. Like, this was not something that started at any certain point. But from the first time that we started hanging out, he always had a ridiculous amount of energy. And it wasn't that he was, like, super high strung and bouncing off the walls. It was that he could stay up. He, like, didn't need to sleep. And he was always that way. Like, when we would hang out, oh my God, I would try to get him to go.
Stop saying hanging out. You guys were doing in the nasty all dang day. You said you were doing it 5 to 6 times a day? You weren't hanging out. You were doing each other.
Go to bed at like 10 o'clock every night. I'm like, if you're going to stay here, you need to go to bed at like 10, because I have to get up and go to work in the morning, and so do you. And he would keep me up like every night. And we usually, I would say, I mean, it kind of fluctuated, but typically I would say that we went to bed somewhere, when he stayed the night at my house on those nights, somewhere between 11 o'clock.
Which was almost every single night in July.
In midnight, every night. And it used to bug me, because it was like, I was so tired.
What time did you wake?
Go to bed.
What time did you usually wake up?
It kind of depended on the day and what I had going on at work, but I would say in between 4:30 and 5 is like a pretty accurate assumption of when I'm supposed to get up for work.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, and then.
So it kind of tells you what time she was up during the murders.
So what I would do is I would go to work all day, and then when I would get off work, I would sleep. I would go home and nap, and my naps varied in time. Sometimes it was a half an hour, sometimes it was like an hour and a half. It was like whatever my body needed. And then I would get up, and I would go to the gym, and then after I got back from the gym, he would come over to my house, and it would be the same thing, where it was like he would keep me up. And I will tell you, without those naps, there's no way I would have been able to keep up with him. No way. And another thing about that too, and he was always like that, always. And it used to, I could tell like his body wanted to sleep, but like his mind couldn't sleep. And the reason that I say that is because he sometimes I would see him, like he would keep me up. So I'd be like, all right, well, like let's watch a movie, you know, if you want to hang out. And so we'd be up, and I'd see him like doze off and then like wake right back up, and like doze off and wake right back up.
Okay.
And there was a few times
I do that, but I don't murder my family.
that we were having a conversation, and he would be talking to me, Kevin, he would like fall asleep mid-sentence and wake up, like snap, and he would like snap out of it like 5 or 10 seconds later and keep talking right where he left off.
That's weird.
Yeah, it always like
So
blew my
funny.
mind. I was like, this guy really like me if he is like avoiding sleep to
We're literally talking about a murder, and they're sitting there laughing their butts off.
be with me. And it was like, I couldn't do it. Like, I napped probably almost every single day after I hung out with him.
Right. Okay.
Honestly, it was almost, it was like he was on speed.
So you think the Thrive thing contributed to that, or at least his own drive for losing weight and getting in shape, and maybe his attraction to you drove him, because you're pretty physically fit, and he was kind of motivated by that. I think, remember you saying that earlier, that you were trying to help him get in better shape.
Well, and I mean, he was already in good physical shape, and he was already taking care of his health and his diet in the gym. I just think he was like, hey, since you're already in this, live a healthy lifestyle, would you be willing to just give me some input? Maybe I can fine tune it.
But do you think that was some of the motivation for him to stay awake long hours and, use maybe multiple patches of Thrive?
No, it was the booty.
To try to impress you, for lack of better terms.
No, I think it was the Thrive, and I think his body wanted to sleep. I think it really wanted to sleep. I think he legitimately was trying to lose weight, and I think that's what was keeping him up.
Cool.
Because at the end of the day, like, I wanted to sleep, but he just was, like, really restless and didn't seem like he wanted to. But he always seemed, like, really respectful of my wishes, so you would think that he would be on board with that. But it was almost like he, like, couldn't calm his brain, you know? And like I said, he wasn't acting high energy. He just like wouldn't sleep, and I almost think that's what it was. It was almost restless, where it's like, hey, I can't turn off at the end of the night, stay up with me. And he never said that, but that was kind of the impression that I got.
Okay.
And so, and again, the double Thrive patches, I mean, maybe, but I don't really think he was trying to impress me. I mean, he told me, like, I had plateaued on this stuff, so I think maybe he was like, well, what if I double dip? So
Right, so he's trying to get over it. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think that was a needy, motivated thing for him. I think that was, because he was already working on the Thrive thing, and like I said, in his fitness, he was doing all that prior to me being in his life.
Okay.
So, and I don't know if he was double patching before I met him. He double patched the whole time I knew him. So I don't know if like that occurred once I came into his life, or if he had already started doing that once he plateaued. I never asked.
Okay.
I just found that really interesting, so I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And that's the kind of things that I want, when we talked prior, just to get you to recall things that didn't seem out of place then, but when you
How about you recall the Hunter Letterman phone call? Yeah?
reflect back may have seemed out of place now with what you know. So what's next?
I mean, it was scary to me. Like, it was scary that he lost that much weight on that stuff, but I guess a lot of people do, and I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, it almost seems like it's a drug.
If you look at any diet, though, I mean, I'm not a fitness guy, but if you read about Atkins or any of these other diets, people lose excessive amounts of weights in short periods of time. So, but whatever. I think it's interesting that this Thrive played a part in it. And quite frankly, I am going to get one of these patches to try to figure out what it is. So we'll figure that out at some point. So
they're willing to look at the Thrive patch, but not look into Nichol. What?
Okay.
What's next on your list?
Let's see. Okay. So this is Saturday.
So Saturday would have been...
This is Saturday, the 11th of August.
Okay.
Was that the 11th?
Yep.
Okay. This is the night that we attempted to go to the Lazy Dog on 120th and Federal, and we walked in, and I looked at their menu. They like tried to feed us.
I don't like the menu. So we went to the other Lazy Dog.
And I looked at their menu, and I was like, I'm not eating here.
Right.
And because, so we went to the other Lazy Dog, which is actually owned by somebody else, so they have a different menu. So we went to the Lazy Dog off of, I think it's 144th that I told you guys, and we sat down and we ate. And
it's on Highway 7, right?
What's up?
Is it on Highway 7?
I don't think so. It's on I-25 and like 144th.
Okay.
So again, she can recall this, but she can't recall the Hunter Letterman phone call.
I mean, I can look it up.
No, that's okay.
Screenshot it.
I think there's two of them, and I think there was some confusion. One of our guys went, and I just want to make sure he went to the right one. I don't know the Lazy Dog, but I'll ask him tomorrow. 144th is right by Highway 7.
Okay, well, I don't know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had never been to that one. So I think it's 144th. It might be 136th. I will look it up tonight, and I will screenshot you the address, and I will send it so that you guys, if you guys need to pull those videos, you can find it. But one thing that I noticed about this is that, so normally when we went out, I try to keep things pretty cheap just to be, like, respectful. Like, I never went to, like, expensive places or anything. And
Why does this matter?
Sometimes I would pay for things, sometimes he would, but when he paid, he would always use these like Anadarko gift cards, like these little gray gift cards, and they were always like $25 or $50, and they always came in like denominational increments that made sense. And he told me that he got these from Anadarko as rewards for like doing really good stuff at work. And is that true? I don't know. I don't know if, I mean, I know that him and his wife had a lot of financial issues, so I don't know if maybe he's the one who actually wanted to spend all the money, and maybe he was cashing his paycheck in via gift cards so that his wife couldn't track it. I don't know. I don't know. But I think it's something you guys will need to confirm with
were they
Anadarko.
actually in the name of Anadarko? Do you remember, or did he just tell you that they were
would
gift
say,
cards?
No, I've seen them. They
Okay.
say Anadarko on them. They're like little dark silver, like credit cards, but they're like gift cards.
So you're just suspicious that potentially he was hiding money from his wife with these gift cards?
Honestly, no. I think Anadarko legitimately gave him these. The oil industry is pretty good about when our operators do things that are safe, or they do a really good job at something. They usually provide like gift cards or some sort of incentive for it. Just
So they bonus these guys out if they're doing a good job or being extra, like they have no safety violations and stuff?
Yeah, stuff like that. So it's like they're like safety rewards. So,
Okay.
So do I think they were legitimate? Honestly, yes, I do. That's something you need to confirm with Anadarko because I wasn't one of their employees, so I don't know.
Okay.
But I did think to myself,
But you worked at Anadarko as a third-party worker. She makes it sound like she wasn't anywhere. She keeps distancing herself. Like Deceptive Detective says, they will do anything they can to distance themselves from any part of the murder.
like, if they do have money issues, maybe he was possibly concealing it. But the thing, it's not even the gift cards that I think that are, like, the main focus on this right now. For me, the main focus that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention is he always paid with those, always. And
Every
then
time you
on
guys,
the
so
night-
we talked about this prior, and let's just revisit it. You guys never really went out on a date per se, with the exception of this Saturday night on the 11th. Usually, you
No,
guys
we went-
spent time at your home versus going out, unless I'm mistaken on what you're saying.
You are.
Okay.
So we, on most nights, would hang out at my house, but we went out a few times. I have dates for everything, and
Okay.
I can give you that once
Yeah.
I'm done with this. The reason that this caught my attention was not because of the gift cards, it was the lack of the gift cards. So when we went out to dinner, he went to pay the check, and I noticed that instead of using one of the Anadarko gift cards, he had a baby blue credit card in his hand that he used to pay.
Okay.
And I just remember thinking to myself, like, why isn't he using any of those gift cards? I'm pretty sure he still has the balance on one of those, but I couldn't remember. And then I was like, maybe, because, you know, at this point, he had made it clear to me that they were, like, filing for divorce. Like, it was, like, done. So I was like, well, maybe he just doesn't really care anymore, you know? But then another part of me was like, but technically, they're still together.
Care about what there, Nicole? Oh, that you thought that they were separating? That they were divorced?
So why would he do that? And, like, I didn't ask because, like, he had made it sound like by that Saturday that they were so far removed from each other that I was like, it's possible that now he's just not, like, has nothing to cover up, you know? But then at the same time, I still feel like until your divorce is 100% completely final and you're out of that house, why would you do that?
Sure.
I mean, so again, I didn't.
So you just found it was a little bit suspicious that he used a credit card versus the gift card.
It was like he had nothing to hide,
Right.
or nothing to lose. He was just like, yeah, I'm going to pay with this,
Right.
and I don't care.
Okay. So, and that would certainly be, if it was a credit card, just thinking, would be something that maybe his wife would see at some point, and he would have to
Yeah.
then try to have to explain that. So in your mind, he's like, oh, well, we're divorced, or I don't care anymore. She's going to find out that I have a girlfriend.
I don't really know what
They talked about the plan that night. That's what that dinner was the plan. You can't tell me differently.
he was thinking. I mean, I can't think for that man. I mean, I can't even process half the shit he's done or the lies he's told at this point, so I don't know. I just think that was extremely peculiar because he had never done that before, and it didn't seem like a big deal to him.
All right. I get where you're going. So it kind of made you think that he didn't have anything to hide anymore.
No, not at all. And again, you know, I mean, there was other parts of our relationship where it's like he talked to me on the phone
There was no reason to hide anything anymore because they knew that they were going to get rid of Shanann.
pretty freely, like all the time, you know. So for me, like it never really seemed like on the phone like he had to hide anything at all. And that's why, you know, when he's telling me, yeah, we're getting separated, yeah, I'm sleeping in the basement, like it didn't even like occur to me like maybe this isn't happening, because it was like he was so liberal about his communication with me, even if they were in the same house together at the same time. And so for me, I was like, all right, well, maybe she's upstairs, he's downstairs, they're separated, it doesn't really matter if he makes a phone call. And so that he was always liberal with. But when it came to like paying for things, it was always the Anadarko gift cards. And again, like I don't know if that's because he was hiding it from her or if that was because he happened to have these gift cards and why not spend those as opposed to like the money in your bank account. I mean, I don't know. I just noticed that one last time that we hung out, that he paid with a credit card, and I was confused because I was pretty sure that he still had a balance remaining on like one of those Anadarko cards, but I don't know.
How did
I
you
don't
know?
All right. What's next?
All right, and then let me just give you a date real quick.
Sure.
For the things when we were out in public. So I think I have these right. I hope I have these right. But on Sunday, I think it was Sunday the 5th, I think.
July 5th?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. I'm glad that you're paying attention to this. Yeah. So I think July, I'm going to start at the beginning.
Okay.
So I went out of town for my birthday. I came home on July 3rd, which is the night of my birthday. On the 4th of July, I went over his house in the morning and helped him with his like meal plan thing. And then after that, I went to the 4th of July Rockies game with one of my friends.
Jim.
And then on the 5th, I think it was the 5th, I don't remember, we went to go see a movie. And we went to the movie theater that is up by that lazy dog, I think, on 100 and I-25.
What movie did you see?
That new Jurassic Park movie. I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
And I remember we got there, and the first showing was sold out, I think. I don't remember. I think either we were going to go see another movie and it was sold out, or that one was sold out. So but when we went up there to start with, it was sold out. And so we left, and we went and like walked down to these benches that were like right across from the Victoria's Secret. And I don't know what corner of the building that would be on. If you guys need me to go up there and try to figure it out.
No, I'll figure it out. That's okay.
Yeah, and we like sat in these benches on this bench under this tree and like just bullshitted until the next showing of the movie. And then we went to the second showing of the movie, and it was really late. I want to say it was like 9-something.
PM?
Yeah, it
on
was
the
late.
5th.
And I want to say, I don't even want to say it's Sunday because I feel like it was like not Sunday. I don't think it was my birthday though. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I might have all my dates mixed up. If I have all my dates mixed up, just
That's okay.
there's a phone camera
You're
or
getting us
something.
close.
You'll find it. Okay. So then, let me go back to.
Come on, Nicole.
No, I was looking at August. That's why the date sounded weird. It was either the 6th of July or the 7th of July.
Okay.
I was looking at the wrong month.
So Sunday the 6th? Pardon me.
No, I think, because that's what I'm saying, I didn't think it was a Sunday. So it was either Friday the 6th
Okay.
or Saturday the 7th of July. I'm sorry. I was
That's
looking
okay.
at the wrong calendar. So because I remember that was like our first like outing. That was like our first date, and it was the weekend right after my birthday week.
Okay.
So it had to been, either probably the 6th or the 7th. And
Okay.
then we didn't go anywhere again until the next weekend. And that weekend, on Saturday the 14th, that's the day that I went to his house, we went up to Boulder, and we went to the Shelby Mustang Museum. So this was July 14th.
She can remember all of this, but not the 111-minute phone call.
Okay.
Yeah, so we went up there, took a tour, and then after that, we left. And
Do you remember what time that would have been?
That we left?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well,
It
what
was
time do you think you
probably-
got?
Surprised he didn't ask, hey, what would you eat that night at Lazy Dog? Chicken Caesar salad? Oh, was that with chicken?
To the museum.
Oh, God, I don't even remember.
Morning, afternoon, night?
I think it was pretty, like, decent time in the morning. I bet you we got there at, like, 11 or so, because I remember it took us probably, like, an hour and a half to walk through, and I think it's a small
And did you brush your teeth?
museum. And then after that, we were going to go to lunch in Boulder, and then we decided not to. And then we went to his house, and I dropped him off, because I had picked him up to go to the museum. So I dropped him off at...
You're driving your 4Runner?
Yeah, we drove my 4Runner all the time. I told you I was only in his vehicle one time, and I think it was like so he could go get gas or something. Like everything, all of these adventures were all done in my truck.
Okay.
What about the
So
other
then
truck?
we went to his house, and we were over there for a little while. But then I was just like, I don't really want to be here, so I left, and I left him there. He didn't go with me.
At his home?
Yeah, like I left him there.
Okay.
And I left by myself. And then the weekend of the 21st, and this is how you'll know if my dates are lined up. I would base it off of this date and work your way backwards. But like this weekend, I went to Vandermeer Speedway with him, and I went and saw, I think it was called the Mopar Mile High Nationals. It might have been called Thunder on the Mountain. I don't know. It was the drag races though, and it was Saturday the 21st.
Okay.
And we were there like the majority of the day. I think we got there like early afternoon, and we were there till it ended pretty much.
Was that late in the evening?
Yeah, those things go pretty late. Like it gets dark.
Okay. So you drove, did you pick him up again and then drive your truck, or your 4Runner, right? It's a 4Runner? Drive your 4Runner?
I didn't pick him up. No, I didn't pick him up again because I never went back to his house. Like he came to my house and then we carpooled.
Okay. So he drove to your house, you guys carpool down to...
How does this bring anything to the case of substantial evidence that helped? The shocking evidence that the DA said that he had of Nichol Kessinger's statements. The shocking information. What was shocking?
The Mile High Nationals, and you stay the majority of the day. Is there anybody with you guys on any of these dates, or is it just you two?
It's just us.
Okay. Did you have meals anywhere after you left there? Did you stop at any bars or anything?
Okay, so that day, I'm glad you brought that up. Prior to going to Vandermeer, we went to, what is the name of that little town? It's not Evergreen. It's like in between Lakewood and Morrison.
Morrison,
We went to
okay.
Morrison. And there's a patio bar there. I do not know what it is called. It's on top of an Italian pizza place. I think it's literally called like the Morrison Grill or Morrison Patio Bar, like something real simple. And we went, it's just like a rooftop bar.
And you went before the drag races?
Yeah, we went before the drag races.
Okay.
And we hung out, there probably for a while. I think we were there for a little while. We ate there. So that's where we got
So
food.
you ate lunch there?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Tacos.
Oh, should we remember that?
That's a really good bar, by the way. Yeah, so we did that, and then we went to Vandermeer, and then I don't know what we did after Vandermeer. I think we just went to his house. I'm almost positive. Like, I don't think we did anything after that, because it was pretty late.
Okay.
And then on the weekend of July 28th through the 29th, we went to the sand dunes. We went to the Great Sand Dunes National Park.
Down in Alamosa?
Yes.
July 28th, 29th. Did you guys stay anywhere?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Where did you stay?
Oh, we camped.
Okay.
We camped. I don't remember the name of the
Yourself.
campsite, but if you, like, just let me go through probably, like, my old phone nav or, like, go through just the internet and try to look up campsites, I can probably come up with the name for you.
Let me ask you this. There was some attachments that when I was looking at some of your phone stuff today, although very limited, there's a man with a backpack. He's got a beard. He does not look like Chris to me in your photos. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, is he, like, a little heavier set?
Yeah, I'd say he's a little bit bigger.
Yes, that is my friend Jim. That is the one that I was with on the Monday and Tuesday of last week.
Okay. So there
And yet, she doesn't want them to talk to him.
is some photographs. You mentioned the museum, the car museum. I think I remember seeing a couple photos of cars, and it didn't strike me as anything then. So there may be a little bit more on your phone than what I think. But there is definitely no photos of Chris, and I don't remember seeing any pictures of the sand dunes. But so, did you camp inside the national park there?
No, it was outside. I think we camped at Zapata Falls. I think that's the name of the campsite.
Yep, Zapata Falls.
Zapata Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's before
Zapata.
you come to the you turn off 160 and you're going towards the sand dunes, and then you turn off and kind of go up a 4-wheel drive road to Zapata Falls.
Yeah, that was like really gnarly one with all the switchbacks
Yep.
and rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
there. And so we camped there.
Was it like an established campground, or was it just dry camping?
No, it was an established campground. There's a campground up there. Like, you hang that left to go to Zapata Falls Trail, and then you go right, and there's like a big campground loop.
Okay.
Again, she can remember that.
So that's where you guys were there.
Yep.
All right. Keep going.
And then we went to the sand dunes, not the first day. So we got there fairly late on. How did I do that? How did we get? No, that's right. So I need to think about this. I really need to think about this. Saturday, we got there, we set up camp, and then after we set up camp, we went to the national park.
So you went and hiked the whatever.
What shoes were you wearing, and what color? Is literally like what the questions he's asking her.
The sand dunes.
Yeah, we tried. Next summer, it was super windy. Oh my God, the sand hurt so bad. It started raining. And we stayed even though the weather was bad, because there was like nobody up there. And so we did that for most of the afternoon, and then we came back to the campsite, and I showed him how to light a fire because he'd never done it before.
He'd never lit a fire.
No, he's never been camping before. He told me he'd never been camping before, and I was like, well, if you want to go, I'm trying to go to the sand dunes, so that's why we went, because he said he'd never done it.
Okay.
So
Did you guys visit any? There's not really very much stuff around there. There's no restaurants or anything in that area.
No.
So
no, we did stop at I think it's called like the Oasis or something. It's like this little. It's like on the way to.
You know, another thing that I've noticed in some of the crime videos that I've been watching of other ones is from a point to point where they find the possible pickup or the possible dump site, or they look at cameras that go along the way. They'll go to a McDonald's, they'll go to a convenience store, they'll go to a grocery store, and or an ATM machine, and they'll get all these videos to see where Chris went. Where did Nicole go? Like, where's that? Did they even try to do that kind of stuff?
The dunes. It's not in the park, but it's like on that road that you take to get to the dunes, and it's almost like a little gas station. And we stopped there, and we rented a sandboard to go sandboarding on, and I think we got more ice for the cooler, and we got firewood for.
So it's like a gas station.
Kind of, but it's like the one-stop shop that everybody goes to because there's like nothing else around there.
Right.
Like I'm almost positive it's called the Oasis, and they actually have their own campground back there too. But
Okay,
it's like
I know
on that road.
Mm-hmm. It's right before you get to the entrance to the park.
Yep. Inside when you're driving in. I'm glad that you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I worked in Southern Colorado for the last 5 years, and I spent a lot of time around Alamosa and in the San Luis Valley. So I know a lot about that area, unfortunately. So I know what you're talking about.
That's
So
good. That helps me.
So you got ice and firewood.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if we got ice. I think we did just because I like to re-up on ice every
Who
time I go
paid for
camping.
it?
He did.
Okay. Did you think you used the debit or the gift card again?
So they probably were going to go check to make sure that he was or she was telling the truth or not.
Probably, because that was the plan in the first place. He was just like, well, hey, I've got these gift cards. If you want to use them, you don't even have to spend any money, and we can just use these. And I was like, well, that's great. So I remember for the trip, I filled up my gas tank and I paid for gas, and I bought a little bit of groceries for the cooler. And then he took care of like the campsite and the board and the firewood and all of that.
Okay.
Like, I didn't actually go into that Oasis place, I don't think. I'm almost positive I didn't go in there. He did. I got in line for the board. I remember that. But their like little board rental shop is like outside of the building.
Okay.
So he went inside because he went and got firewood. And then we went to the dunes.
I'm just looking at your dates, so you know you're right. The Bandamere Speedway, the Mile High Nationals, was July 21st.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I was going to say.
Yep.
Get online and see if that matches.
Yep, it does.
Okay, so
we're
then
good.
all those other dates all those other dates should be good. The only one that I'm not 100% sure about is the movie. It was that weekend, that movie on the 6th and the 7th. It was that weekend. I just don't remember what day of the weekend. I don't think it was a Sunday, though. I really think it was a Friday or Saturday. Like, I'm almost positive I didn't have to work in the morning.
All right. So what's after the Great Sand Dunes?
Okay, so we went to the dunes, and then we went and returned the board, and then we went back to the campsite, and we lit a fire, and we ate, and we just hung out by the fire for a few hours, and
You're full of crap. You know that they did it nasty.
just visited, and then it started raining really hard. So we put everything in the tent and put out the fire, and we went in the tent, and I remember he was, like, wide awake, and I was so tired, like, oh my God, I wanted to sleep so bad, and he just, like, would not sleep, and it was kind of bugging me. Like, I would like almost like wake up and like half subconsciously like have a conversation with him for a sec, and then like doze back off. And I just remember being so tired, and he was up probably for a while.
Okay. And
then
so you guys come back to the Denver metro area on Sunday?
Kind of, yeah. But so we went. One of my friends wanted us to go to the Renaissance Festival, and she didn't know who I was with, but she was with, like, the Renaissance Festival in Colorado Springs, and she was like, oh, you should stop by, and I made up an excuse to not go over there. I just told her, I was like, yeah, I don't really know, you know, and I, like, kind of got out of it because I didn't want her to meet him.
I got it. What friend was that?
Charlotte.
Okay. So did Charlotte ever meet Chris?
No, none of my friends ever met him.
Okay.
And then, on the way back up, we stopped in Colorado Springs to eat, and we stopped at a restaurant called BJ's.
On Nevada and I-25?
How ironic.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I just remember...
Right by the University of Colorado, there's a bunch of buildings, and it's a big strip center. There's like a Costco.
Oh, wait, I think I remember the Costco. Because don't you kind of have to, like from the highway, you can, like, see, or not the highway, but that main road, you can, like, see the Costco, and then you have to kind of, like, turn in and around into that shopping center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. BJ's, it's more like a brew house, I guess, kind of.
Yes, and it's, like, really nice, that place. It's just, like, it's like a nice restaurant. I mean, not, like, nice, but it's just, like, it's a decent place.
So that would have been...
It's a big place. That's what I was looking for. It's a big restaurant.
Sunday, July 29th?
What day
Would that have been Sunday, July 29th?
Yeah, it was Sunday, July 29th. And if you walk in the restaurant, so picture walking in, and the front doors are behind you, we were sat to the right on the, like, first level. Like, there's like a few different levels. So we were sat on the right side, and then in the right side, we were on the, like, left portion of the section on the right side. Like, there's these little, like, single-seater booths. They're really small.
Okay.
So almost, like, in the center of the restaurant, almost, but just, like, kind of on
She can remember this!
the right section of the main floor.
Okay.
Okay, so
Did he again pay with a gift card at that time?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then we went home.
Okay. Did you see him the following weekend?
No, because he was out of town.
Okay. Do you know where he went?
He went to North Carolina.
Do you remember the dates?
No, I think, I want to say that he left on the 31st of July. I'm almost positive, because we hung out the weekend prior at the sand dunes, and then he went to work on Monday, the 30th. I remember that. And then I think he left on Tuesday, the 31st of July, I think. And I don't remember when he got home.
Okay. Next time you guys go out?
Was that Saturday. The 11th.
And you guys...
And that was...
The lazy...
Yeah, the story... Yeah.
Okay. So we got that all down. What's next on your list?
Sorry, I forgot about all of that stuff, and then I didn't...
That's all right. So we ran through something that the first time we talked, you were tired. The second time you were overly stressed, and you had thought of some very important stuff that you wanted to talk about. So it's fine. And I don't mind talking to you as many times as I have to talk to you to get everything down that could at some point be very important. It's fine.
Understood.
So just don't worry about that. My job is to talk to you and make sure that this stuff is placed in a report, so it's there forever. So it's fine. Again,
like the report that has been redacted.
I just keep telling you every time. You when you remember things, just call me and we'll get it down. All right?
Okay, yeah, and I hope you guys pull cameras and all that.
It?
I'm trying to help you. I'm really honestly disappointed that you guys don't have all my text messages or don't think that you do. Like, it makes me sad. Like, I want you guys to have them. Like, you need them. And it's frustrating to me, but it's like, I'll just tell you everything I know and we'll go from there.
That's right.
Hold on.
Other BS.
Hold on, what else? Oh, okay. So now let's go to this last week.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. So Monday, I think probably the most important conversation that I had with him after all of that took place was that first phone conversation on Monday night, like the later one. Remember I told you were telling me there's two big ones?
Right.
And the first one was the one where he mentioned the sheets, the smelly sheets with his kids, and that was also the one where he was telling me he was going to go get his wife's wedding ring appraised.
Okay, like when you sat there and said, oh, I don't know what to do with it. Pawn it, man.
Same conversation. I don't remember exactly how he phrased this. I don't remember what led to this, but he told me
Come on.
something about, he mentioned that he had told, I don't know what he said. He said something about the separation and how, she was okay with the fact that he wanted a separation or that, something like that. And I remember thinking to myself, wait a minute. What? Oh, God, I'm drawing a blank. Here's the deal, is he had been telling me the whole time that I was spending time with him, that he was getting separated, and he kept saying that he was the one who initially initiated the separation, and then that it was
true.
More of a mutual thing. He said that he was the one who had initially brought it up,
okay.
Before we had met, and then she was on board with it, where she was just I'm not happy either, let's do this. And then I remember telling you guys that when he was going to go to North Carolina, I kind of backed away from the situation, and I was like, hey, I think you should try to fix things with her because you have a really beautiful life with her, and I think you should try to
while sending nude photos to him.
Fix stuff. And he kept telling me I don't want to, I don't think she wants to, and I was just please try, just please try. I just thought he had such a beautiful life, and and I was willing to just leave his life. I was like, if you work things out with your wife, I'm gone. And and that's fine, and he'd always be like, well, what about us? And I'd be like, don't worry about us. Try to fix stuff with her. And he said, okay, I will. And then when he went to North Carolina, he told me that he sat down and had a conversation with her, and that he told her that he wanted to fix it. That is what he said to me. He told her that he wanted to fix it, and she said no, that she still wanted the separation, and that she was ready to file for divorce. So I was under the impression when he got home from North Carolina that the
full of crap.
Divorce was filed. That was what I was under the impression. And so then on Monday, when we were on that one phone call where he was just saying all sorts of weird stuff, he again, I don't remember exactly what was said, but it was something along the lines of she was okay with the fact that I wanted the separation.
Right.
And then I remember asking him, I was like, wait a minute.
So you're telling me that Chris talked to Shanann about Nichol already? Do you hear that? Listen to that again.
He sat down and had a conversation with her, and that he told her that he wanted to fix it. That is what he said to me. He told her that he wanted to fix it, and she said no, that she still wanted the separation, and that she was ready to file for divorce. So I was under the impression when he got home from North Carolina that the divorce was filed. That was what I was under the impression. And so then on Monday, when we were on that one phone call where he was just saying all sorts of weird stuff, he again, I don't remember exactly what was said, but it was something along the lines of she was okay with the fact that I wanted the separation.
Right.
And then I remember
right there. So she's saying that Shanann knew about Nichol?
asking him, I was like, wait a minute, when you were in North Carolina, you told me that you tried to fix it with her, and she was the one who said that she didn't want to fix it.
Okay.
And he's like, no, and then he goes, no, I just told her that I still wanted you know, to continue with the separation. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, he lied to me. God, he fucking lied to me. He lied so much.
Okay. So that just struck you as another lie?
Yeah, so that one I don't, and then now I'm seeing the news where he's telling everybody that he separated from her on, that he said he told her he wanted a separation on the Monday that she went missing. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, he told me that he had already had a conversation with her before I was even in his life.
Well, and so not to cause you any more stress, but so when you're talking to him on Monday, this is Monday, right? This isn't Sunday. This is Monday.
No, this is Monday.
So this is after the event. This is after the murders.
Yes.
He is telling you that she mentioned that she was okay with the separation, although you know now that that wasn't accurate. That was something different than he had previously told you, and certainly she couldn't have been really saying anything, unfortunately. So, I mean, he's making up stories after his wife is deceased. Is that a fair statement?
Well,
is that I'm kind of trying to follow where you're going.
I don't honestly. It just struck me as odd because
she's coming up with a lot of bullcrap, man.
I don't know if he was talking about the conversation they had had that day, or if he was talking about North Carolina. But either way,
it just struck you as
weird.
A lie.
It struck me weird because he said that he was the one that was like pushing for it now, and I was just thinking in the back of my head.
So he was trying to fight for their marriage, and that Shanann was done with it. You are full of crap.
Like he made it sound like when I first got into his life that he was the one who had brought up the separation, but that she was like super gung-ho about it. Like he made it sound like she was all on board with it. And then when they were in North Carolina, he's the one who said that he tried to fix it and she didn't want anything to do with it. So it was weird to me when he was saying that he was the one that initiated the separation. Because I'm like, wait a minute, like, and I think it was weird to me because I think he was referring to either whatever happened on Monday morning or he was referring to whatever happened in North Carolina. And I was just really confused because I was like, well, at that point, I thought she was the one pushing you away, like not you pushing her.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
So I don't. It's just a lie. I mean, honestly, I don't know if it has any significance. But it was just a lie that I caught him, and I think everything he told me was a lie, but it was like a lie on top of. It's a lie that contradicted the previous lies that he had told me.
I understand. What's next on your list?
Let's see. Okay, so then in that same exact conversation, two more things happened.
Okay.
One, I was asking him about his daughter's EpiPen because I know that Cece has that tree nut allergy.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't remember like word for word, but it was something along the lines of like, she didn't take your daughter's EpiPen, and he was like, no. And I was like, well, aren't you a little worried? Because I was like trying to do my own reconnaissance, and I was like, aren't you worried about that? And he's like, well, we have like a stash of them in the basement or something like that. And he's like, she probably just took one of those. And I just thought it was weird because several weeks earlier, he had told me how expensive EpiPens were. So I'm like, if they're not expensive, how do you have a stash? You don't have a stash. Nobody can afford a stash of EpiPens.
Right, they're very expensive.
So I almost was like,
man, oh man, I tell you what, it got hot and heavy down at the end. I hope Secrets of the Dark makes a third one, because I definitely do enjoy the first part of it where we were listening to his opinion and so forth. I definitely would love to know your thoughts on this matter about Chris stating that apparently he had told Shanann about Nichol. If that's legit, or if you think if it's completely false. I surely would love to know your guys' thoughts. Make sure you guys also timestamp it in between, so when you guys are talking about something, I know where to look and listen to it, because then I want to know what you guys are wanting to talk about or debate, or vice versa. So again, don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends. We will see you guys in the next video. Please take care, be safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.